I think that like something that chefs don't admit that often is that they enjoy being angry. Like, we like it. It's cathartic. You get to yell at people, throw spatulas in the dish pit, talk shit about guests who order eggs over easy because for some reason I can't do it. And you think, like, I could, but I can't. Hi, I'm Jake from Chez Ma Tante and Le Crocodile, and I'm here to make pancakes. What makes our pancakes special is that we fry them in clarified butter. I'm going to start off by making clarified butter, which is really easy. All you do is put cold butter in a pan over like medium or medium-high heat and heat it up to the point where the milk solids have separated from the fat. Skim it a little bit. It gives it a much higher burning point. And then I'm just going to pour it. The pancakes also have clarified butter mixed into the batter, so I'm going to melt our clarified butter. I'm just gonna use my hands, because whatever. That's clarified butter. Now we're making the batter. We've got to start off by cracking our eggs. Another thing that makes this recipe special is the use of egg yolks. It makes them a little bit more rich. Instead of just using whole eggs, I'm gonna add a couple egg yolks. Oh, fuck me. Right over the garbage can. The original recipe comes from a book called How America Eats. It's under the name Benedict's Pancakes. We decided we needed some brunch items. Pancakes are a pretty obvious choice. I did a little bit of research and ended up with that Benedict's recipe that we then changed to be fluffier and crispier and brighter. So I'm gonna add lemon zest now. It's more important than you would think, the zesting of the lemons in this. I mean, they add obviously citrus aroma, but it helps cut all the richness. I have an ex-girlfriend who hated lemon in pancakes, so this is like a little ode to her. When we started making our pancakes, she said, just tell me that you didn't put any lemon in it. And of course I did. I actually like to cream my sugar, which is something that you do when you're making cookies or cake or anything like that. I just like to make sure that as I'm incorporating things, that it's very even. Add my salt also. Something that I think is really important is kind of activating your baking powder. So I activate the baking powder in the eggs with the salt and the sugar. And that's what makes them fluffy. Once I've kind of whisked out all the clumps in the baking powder, I'm gonna add some milk. I think we started out making probably 4 quarts of pancakes, which we would then end up eating because we didn't sell any. Then we got busy. And now we can go through like over 100 quarts of pancake batter in a week. You can absolutely make it ahead of time. We make it like a day in advance. I'm gonna start incorporating flour little by little, just to make sure that it's not clumpy. It is okay though to have clumps in your pancake batter. It's totally fine. If you whip it too hard, you'll whip out a lot of the air. So like all of the work that the baking powder is doing will kind of be negated by whisking too hard. When I used to visit my aunt, Chez Ma Tante, apropos, in San Diego, we would go to a Mexican diner, basically. And we'd eat pancakes and chili rellenos, which surprisingly go really well together. And the pancakes would come out and they were like black, almost burnt. So when we set out to make pancakes originally, the idea was that they would also be like almost charred, which gives them a little bit of, I think, complexity that people are probably a little nervous at first, because you kind of want like, everyone wants like golden brown everything. So I thought that it would be nice to stir it up a little bit with dark pancakes. I'm gonna add some milk. This is looking kind of loose. I'm gonna add a little bit of flour to tighten it up. They're called pancakes for a reason. I'm looking for like a cake batter consistency. You know when you're whisking cream or something and it starts to develop peaks? You'll be able to see traces for a little bit before it like disappears. That's what you're looking for. Traces of your whisk and then traces of the batter. I'm adding my butter now. And you'll notice when you add your butter that it gets like this really nice like glossy texture. It's pretty. Okay. Ready to fry pancakes. So fortunately I have some clarified butter already prepared. I'm gonna put it into our pan. And it's gonna seem like a lot of fat, that's because it is. Okay, so now I'm smoking hot, which is a little bit too hot. I'm gonna add a little bit more butter. It's also gonna cool down the pan. That's a nice sound. It's frying well. The old gold standard for when to flip a pancake is when you start to see bubbles coming. I'll take it just a little bit further. The scary thing about having an ocean of oil like this in your pancake is flipping them. And there's no real easy way to go about it. You're gonna probably splash hot butter. You wanna be pretty gentle with your pancake until you're confident that it's cooked, because you could smack a lot of the air out of it. But when I get closer, I like to tap it to make sure that it sounds right. But also, like, if you tap it and it starts to sputter, if there's any like pancake batter that's shooting out to any edges of the pan, you know that it's not quite cooked yet. And especially because these are very thick pancakes, you run the risk of undercooking them. Part of the reason why I'm like not totally worried about pan temperature when I'm looking for color is that I can always kind of fry it on the other side again. I'm gonna flip it actually and brown it just a little bit more, even though I already kind of have a nice little like burnt edge. Why no toppings? Because they're unnecessary. If you make the most ordinary thing excellently, like, who really cares? So I'd say this one is done. And I'm just gonna keep making pancakes. My mother used to work in restaurants, and she had lots of friends who were chefs. So technically, the original recipe is one that you cook almost without butter in the pan at all, which is what the fat in the batter does. It helps to like release. That results in one of those like super evenly colored, flat, but not crispy pancakes. You'll notice that a fried pancake develops a super crispy ring around the outside, which is delicious and perfect. And that's the difference. Now that we've finished the pancakes, we put more butter on top and a generous amount of maple syrup. I'm gonna eat all 3 of these pancakes. I'm gonna take a really big bite. Actually, my pancakes are very good. My favorite part is that they're crunchy and salty. I'm Jake, again, from Chez Ma Tante and Le Crocodile. And for the recipe, you can click the link below.
Are you Taurus?
No, but I have Taurus rising and a Taurus moon. So there we go.